Hey there YouTube, this is Cyberse Hunter, and even though I know I'm a little late to the party, I am bringing you my Cyberse deck post-circuit break booster pack. So, let's just go ahead and get into this, shall we? Additionally, if anyone knows of any good manga creating websites, or rather anything that pertains to helping young or amateur writers in terms of manga, I would appreciate any information about that because I'm currently working on one. So wish me luck in that department. And we start off with one Bitteron. I thought about running two, but let's just say I like Digitron a bit more. Plus, honestly, the deck wouldn't feel complete without at least one Bitteron. Then we run two Digitron. So, yeah. In order to help get them out, we run three Dracnet. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Now you can see him better. This card is a staple in this deck at this point. Its effect is when this card is normal summon, you can special summon one level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck in defense position. It helps you make easier link summons. At the very least, you can do a link 2. And then I run 3 of the new Bit Trooper. Hey, look at this little guy. He's pretty cool. I like his design. And I like his effect. By sending one level 2 or lower monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, but you can only use the effect of Bit Trooper once per turn. So send either Bitteron, Digitron, Stack Reviver, cards like that to the graveyard, pop him out. Personally, if I was doing it, I would ditch Dotscaper, special summon him, use Dotscaper's ability, put him on the field, then do whatever is necessary for link summoning, if you want to link summon. Next, I run 3 Balancer Lord because he's a badass. Plus, I love his effect. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, and during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one Cyberse monster, in addition to your normal summon or set. You only gain this effect once per turn. If this card is banished, special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, it's got a decent effect. Grants you one additional normal summon, but it only works on Cyberse cards, so I guess I had to limit it somehow. I run 3 ROM Claudia. His effect is that when this card is normal summoned, you can target one Cyberse monster in your graveyard, except ROM Claudia, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one level 4 lower Cyberse monster from your deck, except ROM Claudia. So it's a decent card. It allows you to not only bounce a card from your hand, but when it goes bye-bye from the field, you can special summon one of those monsters from your hand so long as it's level 4 or lower. Can't go wrong there. I mean, I don't have any complaints. And next we run another staple to any good Cyberse deck. 3 Backup Secretary. Her effect is pretty self-explanatory. If you control a Cyberse monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you can only do this once per turn. I actually dueled one guy who summoned a Backup Secretary for his normal summon, then special summoned another Backup Secretary. I just sat there and I thought, not a bad idea. Guess it was the only move you could do. Next, I run 2 Link Infra Flyer. His effect is also pretty self-explanatory. You can special summon this card from your hand to a zone a Link monster points to, but you can only special summon one Link Infra Flyer once per turn this way. I prefer using him on my Decode Talker, but you can also use them for Firewall Dragon if you so desired. Next, I run 1 Boot Staggered. When a Cyberse monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use the effect of Boot Staggered once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 1 Stag token. It's a Cyberse Earth, level 1, no attack, no defense. And because a lot of the Cyberse Link monsters that are running this deck do not specifically say that you can't use tokens, this is a useful monster for this deck. Plus, I love its 2300 attack points and the fact that you get to special summon it when you make your normal summon. Next, I run just one of the new Stripping Partner. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by the following effect. If the effect activation of a monster you control is negated, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is special summoned, target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in the graveyard and special summon it. So basically, if one of your monster's effects gets negated, special summon him to the field, choose a level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your graveyard, special summon it as well. I love this card's effect, but I very rarely actually pull it off, so I think when the next booster pack comes out, I'll be replacing Stripping Partner. You'll just have to wait and see. Next, I run 1 Dot Scaper because I love its effect, which is that when this card is sent to the graveyard, special summon this card. If this card is banished, special summon this card. But you can only use each effect once per turn, once per duel. So basically, you can't link summon with it, send it to the graveyard, special summon it, link summon again, banish, and in the same turn, special summon it again. You can only use each effect once per turn. Additionally, as it says on the card, you can only use each effect once per duel. It's a shame they limited it like that, but I can see why they did. Because this is an easy link summon spammer. Let me adjust the camera. That draws the cards you want to see, not my ugly mug. Then I run 1 Stack Reviver. Most Cyberse monsters are level 4 or lower, so that's why I continue to run Stack Reviver, as his effect is that when this card is used as material for a link summon, you can target one other level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard that was used as material for a link summon, special summon in defense position. You can only use the effect of Stack Reviver once per duel. It's also because of that once per duel effect that I only run the 1 Stack Reviver. That's it for the monsters. Now onto the spells. I run 3 Cynet Backdoor. I love this card's effect. Target 1 Cyberse monster you control, banish it, and if you do, add 1 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. This attack is lower than the monster's original attack. During your next standby phase, return that monster banished by this effect to the field, and it can attack directly this turn. However, you can only activate 1 Cynet Backdoor per turn. My favorite combo is to use this card on Xcode Talker while I have Tri-Gate Wizard on the field. That is while it's co-linked to Encode Talker. Then when Encode Talker returns to the field, have Tri-Gate Wizard attack one of my opponent's stronger monsters. Use Encode Talker's effect to boost Encode Talker's attack power, because you can do that. You can do that. It's good. You can do that. And then slam them directly for all that beautiful damage. Next, I run 2 Cock Block. Now I'm just playing it, security block. And if you got that reference, you're my new best friend. You target 1 Cyberse monster on the field. This turn, neither player takes battle damage. Also, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. The only reason why I didn't run it in the previous deck profile was mostly because I couldn't afford to get it last time. I didn't have a job at the time, but I do now, so. Yay me! I run just one Cynet Universe. It's not really that much of an important card anymore, but I do run it for the fact that it has the effect that all link monsters you control gain 300 attack. Once per turn, you can target one monster in the graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by card effects, send all monsters in the extra monster zone to the graveyard. It's a shame that it affects your extra deck zone too, but I suppose it's understandable. I run one Link Hole. I don't thoroughly understand how this card works, so I've been testing it out, and so far what I have learned I quite like. If you control a Link 4 or higher monster, and because of that line right there, I know Link 5 monsters are going to be a thing. Destroy monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Link 3 or higher monsters you control. It's slightly confusing considering you can get the numbers mixed up easily. But I have gained a bit of, let's just say I'm no longer really stupid with this card. I'm somewhat of a Dillard when it comes to this game. And I run one Soul Charge. This one's self-explanatory. You pay 1,000 life points for each monster you special summon back from the graveyard. Nice, right? Again, as I've stated with previous deck profiles when it comes to Soul Charge, this card should be treated as a last resort. Especially if you're running low on life points. Let's hit the spell cards now onto the traps. Because Code Talkers are becoming quite a prominent thing, you will definitely want to run 3 Recoded Alive. The fact is that target one Link 3 Cyberse Link monster you control, or that is in the graveyard, and banish it. If you do, special summon one Code Talker monster from your extra deck. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, banish this card from the graveyard, then target one of your banished Code Talker monsters. Special summon it. So this is a pretty nice card. I usually trade out Encode Talker for Decode Talker, but that's just me. And it states that you can activate this card for any Link 3 Cyberse Link monster. But if you're smart, and I'm assuming you are, you'll use this on Code Talker monsters. That way when your special summon, when the new Code Talker you have on the field is destroyed, banish it, pull the one that was banished, and you have a new Code Talker in position, ready to slaughter your opponent. Next, I run 2 Cyberse Beacon. Can't go wrong with this card. If you took damage by battle on an opponent's card effect this turn, add one level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Cyberse Beacon per turn. So it pretty much grants you a new card monster to work with. I usually use it to add I usually use it to add a backup secretary from my deck to my hand, which I then promptly special summon because I usually have a Cyberse monster already in the field. Next, I run 1 Parallel Port Armor. Its effect is that you target one Link monster you control, equip this card to it. Your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. You can banish this card and 2 Link monsters from the graveyard, then target one Link monster you control and it can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Personally, I've never really used the second effect, but I do love its first effect. So yeah, that's the thing. Next, I run 1 Cynet Refresh. When an opponent's Cyberse monster declares an attack, destroy all monsters in the main monster zone. During the end phase this turn, special summon from the graveyard as many Cyberse Link monsters as possible to their owner's fields that were destroyed by this effect. When an opponent's monster card activates its effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Cyberse Link monsters you currently control are unaffected by other card effects until the end of the turn. It's actually quite self-explanatory, believe it or not. It's fairly straightforward. Opponent activates a card effect, banish this card from the graveyard. All your link monsters can't be affected by the card effect. Your opponent attacks, activate this card, blow up every monster on the field. Opponent no longer has a monster to attack with. Then you special summon the link monsters that were Cyberse link monsters from your graveyard. So long as it was destroyed by this card's effect. And lastly, I just run one bottomless trap hole. When your opponent summons a monster with 1500 or more attack, destroy the monster with 1500 or more attack, and if you do, just banish it. Straightforward. It's like trap hole, only in reverse, and you banish the monster instead of sending it to the graveyard. Additionally, I would like to make an update. I realize now that you're only allowed to run one Book of Moon, so in my crawler deck profile, please remember only one Book of Moon. I do not have a replacement, and I will be deleting that video to make a new one. So please be patient with me on that. But now that we're done with the main deck, let's move on to the extra deck. I wish I had more than one of it, but for now I only have the one Firewall Dragon. It takes 2 or more monsters to make. Once while face up on the field, this is a quick effect. You can target monsters on the field and or graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card. Return them to the hand. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, special summon one monster from your hand. I mostly use it for its special summoning effect, but it's your card. Use it however you feel. Again, and while I'm saying this is your deck. Build it however you feel like. This is just my opinion. And my opinion ain't worth shit. Next, I run just one Decode Talker. It takes 2 or more effect monsters, and it gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control, this is a quick effect. Tribute 1 monster this card points to, negate the activation, and destroy the card. I love its effect. Fire Dash. Wah. I run one Encode Talker. It takes 2 or more Cyberse monsters. Once per turn, before damage calculation, if your monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can make that monster unable to be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage from that battle. After that damage calculation, have this card or one monster it points to gain attack equal to the attack of the battled opponent's monster until the end of this turn. And that's why I run Tri-Gate Wizard. I run one of the new X-Code Talker. You get a real good look at this behemoth. Yeah, he's big and beefy. It takes 2 or more Cyberse monsters to make. When this card is link summoned, you can choose unused main monster zones equal to the number of monsters currently in the extra monster zone. These zones cannot be used while this monster is face up on the field. You can only use the effect of X-Code Talker once per turn. Monsters this card points to gain 500 attack. Also, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. Kind of bites considering its link markers are this way, and that way. So, kind of pointless, but eh. Next I run... Oh wait, I figured out why I said it like that. Never mind. It's good. One Tri-Gate Wizard. Takes 2 or more monsters except tokens. This card gains the effects based off of the number of monsters co-linked to this card. If there's a monster code linked to this card battles your opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. Do you see the beauty of why I do what I do? With the combo I stated previously, involving Encode Talker and Cynet Backdoor. I can pretty much end my opponent in one strike with that combo. Provided they don't have a face-down card like Mirror Force. And usually they do. If it has 2 or more, once per turn, you can target 1 card on the field and banish it. If there are 3, once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, this is a quick effect, you can negate the activation and banish the card. It's got a fairly decent effect, and I kind of like it, so. I run just one Underclock Taker. It takes 2 effect monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster this card points to, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack of the target this monster points to until the end of this turn. It's not a bad effect. I very rarely use it, so it'll probably be one of the Link monsters I replace when Flames of Destruction gets released. And I still run 1 Link Bumper, despite the fact that it's completely useless. It takes 2 Cyberse monsters to make. Once per turn, at the end of the damage step, your monster this card points to attacked an opponent's Link monster. You can activate this effect. The monster that attacked gains 1 additional attack on an opponent's Link monster during this battle phase for each Link monster you currently control, except this card. Your monsters, except for that monster, cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Yeah, I hardly ever make this one. If I make it, I use it to go into Firewall Dragon or something stronger. Next, I run Binary Sorceress. It takes 2 monsters except tokens. This card gains the effect based off of the number of monsters co-linked to this card. If there's one, when a monster is co-linked to this card battles your opponent's monster and inflicts battle damage to them, you gain that much life points. I mostly run it for that effect. If there's 2, once per turn, you can target 2 face-up monsters you control until the end of this turn. Have the attack of 1 monster, and if you do, add the lost attack to the other monster. Again, I mostly run it for the first effect. So, next I have just 1 Proxy Dragon. It is 2 monsters. If a card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you destroy 1 of your monsters this card points to instead. I will admit I have hardly ever made Proxy Dragon. Next I run Flame Administrator. I will admit I did consider Vector Squared Archfiend, but I decided against it. It takes 2 Cyberse monsters, and all Link monsters you control gain 800 attack. You can only control 1 Flame Administrator. I mostly go into him, despite the 1200 attack points it has. It's still not a bad card, and it gives a decent power boost. Next I run Recovery Sorcerer. It takes 2 Cyberse monsters to make it. This is a quick effect. You can target 1 Cyberse Link monster in your graveyard that was destroyed this turn, special summon it, but it has its effects negated. Also destroy it during the end phase. You can only use this effect of Recovery Sorcerer once per turn. It's got a fairly decent effect, and I like using it, so it's not a bad card at all. Next, I run 3 Link Spider. It takes 1 normal monster to make it, so either Digitron or Bitteron. And when it comes out, Plasmaron will work too. At least I think that's how you pronounce its name. Once per turn, you special summon 1 level 4 lower normal monster from your hand to the zone this card points to. Self-explanatory. And then lastly, I run 1 Link Kribo. Because why not? It's cute. It takes one level 1 monster to make. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you contribute this card, change that opponent's monster's attack to 0 until the end of this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, this is a quick effect, you contribute one level 1 monster, special summon this card. You can only use the effect of Link Rebo once per turn. It's cute, and I love its effect. I have saved my butt multiple times due to its effect. I honestly recommend running it in any deck, in your Cyberse deck. And that's it for the extra deck. In my next deck profile video, I will be doing rockets. And spoilers, I finally got Borreload Dragon. Took me long enough, right? Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Additionally, any information about a manga creating website or a website dedicating to help people write manga, or hell, even a message board would be very appreciated. I am working on a manga of my own. If you would like to see some of my artwork that I am using for it, let me know and I might make a separate video dedicated towards that. And that's all. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!